Hey folks, I'm Mike Evers, ORTHOWORLD Senior Market Analyst. In this video, we'll take a look at the sports medicine segment while considering the impact of consolidation, its importance to strategic growth, its surprisingly slow news and M&A cycle, its funding environment, and finally, its avenues for evolution. According to our estimates, sports medicine generated over $7 billion in worldwide revenue in 2024. While growth in larger segments like joint replacement and spine have moderated, sports medicine has maintained a solid mid-single-digit growth rate. However, sports medicine is one of the most highly consolidated segments in orthopedics. Arthrex and Smith & Nephew dominate the space, accounting for more than half of all sports medicine sales. Stryker and J&J MedTech are the only other sports medicine players with double-digit share. Combined, the top 4 players in sports med control 80% of the market. Now, given its large sales base and higher growth rate, sports medicine is a key strategic focus for many of the largest orthopedic players. Zimmer Biomet, for example, cited sports med and the ASC as critical pillars of growth. The company closed out the fourth quarter of 2024 with a tremendous 22% growth rate in sports medicine, and then followed that up with a strong showing in the first quarter when it drove high single-digit growth. Likewise, Stryker recently said its sports medicine business was quote-unquote on fire. It drove strong double-digit growth in the second quarter of 2025. Now, it's sort of unusual for sports medicine to make news, especially via M&A. The segment accounts for the fewest press releases that we see, as well as the fewest orthopedic M&A transactions. Since August 2024, so about a year, we've generated 288 OrthoFlash articles based on orthopedic press releases. Just 11% of them were related to sports medicine. For comparison, 21% of our news over the last 12 months was related to enabling technology. So of the 31 sports medicine OrthoFlash items over the last year, regulatory clearances and trials/studies were the most common. Likewise, sports medicine figured in just 9% of orthopedic M&A transactions that we've tracked over the last decade. Now, it might seem reasonable to assume that sports med M&A picked up in recent years as large strategic companies lean in to elevate their growth rate. But activity in this segment actually slowed in the post-pandemic era, down to 8% from 10%. Things are a little bit more active for sports medicine in the funding realm. According to our estimates, there have been 6 sports medicine funding announcements since the start of 2024, for a total of $114 million. While sports medicine doesn't have staggering funding numbers, its activity is good for middle-of-the-pack status. Over the last decade, sports medicine has had third most funding announcements, accounting for about 15% of the industry total. Like M&A, funding for sports medicine slowed in the post-pandemic era. Since 2021, sports medicine accounts for 13% of orthopedic funding, putting it in a tie with orthobiologics for third most activity. Given the relative dearth of news, acquisitions, and funding for sports medicine, it can really seem like the segment has a somewhat narrow innovation pipeline. According to Michael McBrayer, Senior Vice President of Business Development and Professional Relations at Enovis, not much has changed for sports medicine over the years. The procedures haven't changed all that much, he said. ACL reconstruction has been refined in terms of ways grafts are sourced, but the fundamental techniques remain largely the same. It's fair to say there hasn't been a massive leap forward in sports medicine compared to some other orthopedic fields. But Mr. McBrayer identified pediatric sports medicine as an opportunity for the industry. He said the number of kids involved in organized sports has grown significantly while they're engaged in repetitive movements that could lead to real injuries. Enabling technology is another opportunity for sports medicine to grow and improve. While these technologies will likely not impact sports medicine to the same degree as, say, spine or joint replacement, we think some of the visualization aids could be highly valuable to minimally invasive surgery. Dr. Nathan Skelly said Stryker's hip map has revolutionized his approach to hip procedures. So growing orthopedic specialty and improving navigation technology could really help unlock some of sports medicine's innovation and growth potential. Okay, folks, we'll leave it there for now. We talked about the impact of consolidation in sports medicine, its importance to strategic growth, its surprisingly slow news and M&A activity, its funding environment, and finally, its avenues for evolution. We'll have second quarter coverage for you on orthoworld.com and here on our YouTube channel, so make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Mike Evers. See you next time.